A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A+ English because it's so much fun. English education for you and everyone, so come along. Learn some grammar, learn a phrase, learn something new every day. Learn the A+ way. Hey, it's time to start the show. Are you ready? Good, 'cause here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A+ English.
Hi everyone and welcome to A+ English. I'm Pat.
And I'm Elsie.
Today we're going to be interviewing somebody who has a dangerous job. And our warm-up question is, what dangerous jobs do people do? Why do they do them?
到底有什么危险的工作人们会去做它们呢？还有为什么要做那些工作？Of course they do it for money, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's part of it. But also to help people, to save people. It's kind of like this thing that you're like, I'm going to do this. I want to help out.
对，要拯救人们的性命。So I think a firefighter's job is dangerous.
Yep.
消防员的工作很危险。Also, a police officer's job
Of course.
is dangerous too. And maybe roofers' jobs.
Yeah, like people who
Pretty
work
dangerous.
in construction with big machines or they work in high places. I mean, even being a doctor can be dangerous. You might be in contact with people who've got serious diseases that you could catch, and they work very long hours as well, which is kind of dangerous for their own personal health. So yeah, there are a lot of difficult jobs that people do, and often the more difficult they are and dangerous they are, it's not just about the money, there's about some kind of calling they have as well. But let's find out more about this in the first day of our article.
Fighting fires and saving lives. Warm-up question. What dangerous jobs do people do? Why do they do them?
What do you do at work?
We teach people to prevent fires. We save others from fires, disasters, and accidents or emergencies. We also take hurt people to the hospital.
Talk about one special time in your job.
A young woman was having a baby. She called us, but the baby was coming too fast. We delivered the baby in the ambulance. The baby was healthy. The family came by later to thank us. This was special to me.
What kinds of people make good firefighters?
Firefighters are patient, strong, and act quickly in emergencies. They try their best to save people's lives.
Word power.
Accident. Accident. George is in the hospital because he broke his leg in a motorcycle accident. George is in the hospital because he broke his leg in a motorcycle accident. Ambulance. Ambulance. Jenny heard an ambulance behind her, so she let it pass first. Jenny heard an ambulance behind her, so she let it pass first. Thank. Thank. Rose wrote her teacher a card to thank him for helping her learn math. Rose wrote her teacher a card to thank him for helping her learn math. Patient. Patient. Please be patient. You can play this game in a few minutes. Please be patient. You can play this game in a few minutes.
认识字汇
Prevent. Prevent. Disaster. Disaster. Emergency. Emergency.
So we'll start, this is a question and answer dialogue, and we're going to find out what this person does, because the A+ interviewer asks, What do you do at work?
OK， 所以我们这边看到的是一段的访谈。那 A+ 的人就先问了 What do you do at work? 你工作的时候都在做些什么？ At work 这个片语呢，代表就是在工作中。
Right, I could say at work I write and edit tests and articles and sometimes do teaching. This phrase at work is also useful for saying where you are and what you're doing. Like, I'm at work right now, I'll call you back later. So our person's name is Champion, and Champion says, we teach people to prevent fires.
所以被访问的这个人，他的名字叫做 Champion， 他就回答的里面呢有一个动词是 prevent， 它代表的是预防的意思，像是 There are traffic rules to prevent accidents， 有交通规则来预防意外。那他们做这些事情是要来预防意外的发生。
Yeah, prevent kind of means stop something happening, like we wear masks to prevent us from catching illnesses.
没错，我们戴口罩呢是要避免感染疾病。那课文当中这个 Champion 回答的是我们教大家预防火灾。
That's not all. He says, we save others from fires, disasters, and accidents or emergencies.
To save somebody from something 代表的是从点点点当中拯救某人，所以我们从火场当中拯救受困的人，这个是 Champion 的回答。那我们先进到 Magic Box 听讲师讲解这个片语的用法咯。
Magic Box
Hello， 大家好，我是 Casey。大家之前有看台湾一部很红的电视剧叫做《火神的眼泪》吗？里面的消防员的工作真的很伟大他们要冒着很大的风险进到火场去救人哦。Firefighters save people from fires。那今天我们在课文里面看到的这个片语 save somebody from something， 意思呢其实就是指将某人从怎么样的危险或是困难中救出来这样的意思哦。那大家可以特别注意一下这边出现的介系词 from， 不是大家所熟知的来自某一个地方这样的解释哦，而是呢免于某种困难啊或者是危险。那我们可以举个例子来看看它的用法哦。The doctor saved the patient from the serious disease。这位医生从危险的疾病中拯救了病患。或者是以下这个电影的句子哦 Captain America saved the city from the army of robots。 美国队长呢拯救了这个城市免于机器人军队的攻击哦。那 from 呢表示免于某一个事物的用法，其实我们也可以套用在其他的动词身上哦，像是常见的有 prevent 防止，还有 stop 停止， protect 保护，还有 keep就是阻止这样的意思哦。那大家有没有发现这类的动词其实都有着让某一件坏事不要发生这样的含义嘛？那我们来造一个例句看看哦。My mom stopped me from going out alone at night。 我妈妈不让我在晚上独自出门。还有下一句就是 This blanket prevents me from getting cold in the winter。这条毛毯让我在冬天里面免于寒冷。好，那以上这个特定的动词呢，加上 from 表示保护啊，或是阻止，还有拯救某人事物免于某种不好的状况，这样的用法，大家都有学起来了吗
？Welcome back. So Champion just gave us a list of all the different things that are part of his job. And one thing that firefighters and people like that protect others from is disasters.
Right, disaster 代表的是灾难。那如果是自然的灾难灾害，我们会说是 natural disasters。那当然也有人为的，那我们就会用 man-made 来形容 man-made disasters 人为灾害。
Right, a natural disaster would be a typhoon, an earthquake, big waves, sometimes fires. But a man-made disaster, that could also be a fire, depends what caused it, or when like a big ship crashes and oil spills out of the ship.
没错，那些都可以是人为的灾害。好，再来呢，这边说到消防员也要从灾难当中、灾害当中拯救人们的性命 and accidents or emergencies too.
Right.
那我们先看到第一个字 accident， 我们来看看它的意思是什么。 Accident 这个名词呢，代表意外事故。那像是我们在路上碰到的意外事故，我们可以说是 road accidents 或是 traffic accidents， 也就是交通意外事故。有哪一些呢？有 car accidents 车祸， scooter accidents 机车导致的车祸，或者是 bike accidents 脚踏车造成的车祸也是有的。那如果是重大的意外事故呢，我们可以用 major 来形容。那如果是比较轻微的，我们用 minor 来形容哦。那不管怎么样，我们都要尽力的 prevent an accident， 也就是去预防意外的发生。那给同学们一个例句 She survived the train accidents and was happy to be alive. 她从火车的事故当中生存，那她觉得非常的开心。那单字例句给的是呢 George is in the hospital because he broke his leg in a motorcycle accident. George 现在正在住院，因为他在一场摩托车事故当中摔断了他的一条腿。
You could also say, there was a big accident on the road. Many cars hit each other. They weren't trying to, but it happened. So what's an emergency?
对呀，还有 emergency 代表的是紧急事件。
Right, you might say, I have to leave work right now. It's an emergency.
所以呢，消防人员要将人们从火场、灾难、意外还有 emergencies， 也就是紧急事件当中救出来。
But this isn't all that Champion does. He adds, we also take hurt people to the hospital.
这边的 hurt 形容词用，那它是代表受伤的意思，所以呢，我们也要带受伤的人去医院。
Right, here hurt is an adjective. It can be used to describe people or animals. For example, the boy looked after a hurt bird. Okay, so that's kind of explaining what Champion does. A+ asks, or tells him to, talk about one special time in your job.
OK， 现在呢，我们要他谈一下在工作当中遇到的特殊状况。
All right, here's an exciting story. He says, Champion, a young woman was having a baby.
OK， 他开始说这个故事咯。他说当时一个年轻的女性快要生了。
Okay, we see she called us, but the baby was coming too fast.
OK， 他确实有打电话给他们，但是呢 ，baby 就快要生出来了。
Right, and he says, we delivered the baby in the ambulance.
Wow, deliver 这个动词呢，在这边代表的是帮忙接生孩子。
Right, here we're using deliver in a very special way. It's not like deliver food or deliver a package. It means that you're helping somebody have a baby. You could also use it for the mother. She delivered the baby. Basically, it comes out. I could say, for example, my son was delivered with a special tool. They had to kind of pull him out because his head's so big.
没错，所以呢，再帮同学们整理一下deliver 在这边呢，代表的是帮忙接生孩子。那它本身还可以当作是妈妈把孩子生下来的动作，或者是 deliver food， 也就是递送、运送食物。Okay, so they delivered the baby in the ambulance.
Wow. What's an ambulance, though?
Let's find out. Ambulance 这个名词呢，代表是救护车。那我们要打电话叫救护车的时候 we call an ambulance. 那上面呢就会有救护人员来帮助我们。救护人员是 the ambulance crew. 那可能会把我们送到哪边呢？可能会把我们送到 emergency room， 也就是你看到医院的急诊室，那简称为 ER. So for example, the siren of the ambulance went off as a badly injured woman was being sent to the hospital. 当受重伤的女性正被送到医院的时候，救护车的警笛声响起。那单字例句给的是呢 Jenny heard an ambulance behind her, so she let it pass first. Jenny 听到后方的救护车响起，所以呢，她就让路给她先过。
That's right. Cars have to move out of the way when an ambulance comes down the road.
没错 So they delivered the baby in the ambulance. 他们在救护车当中接生这名婴儿。Was the baby okay?
The article says the baby was healthy, so all is well.
这名婴儿是健康的。
We then see the family, so that's the mother's husband, the grandparents, everybody else. The family came by later to thank us.
To thank us, 我们从句子当中可以知道 thank 是个动词。What does it mean? Let's find out. Thank 这个动词呢，代表感谢。那我们最常说的就是 Thank you， 感谢你，谢谢你。那如果是非常感谢你，我们可以加上 Thank you very much， 或者是 Thank you so much。那当我们要感谢某人做某事的时候，我们可以说 Thank somebody for something or thank somebody for doing something. So for example, thank you for this birthday present. 谢谢你给我这个生日礼物。或者是呢，我们可以说 Thank you for saving me from the fire. 谢谢你把我从火场当中救出来。那单字例句给的是呢 Rose wrote her teacher a card to thank him for helping her learn math. Rose 写了张卡片给她老师，感谢她帮助自己学习数学。
And here's another example. I want to thank you for helping me move house.
那之后呢，课文说到这家人过来跟我们道谢，这是 Champion 说的。
Okay, and this whole experience from the baby delivery to the thanking, he says, this was special to me.
这一次呢，对我来说很特别。
Okay, so we now know Champion is a firefighter. He doesn't just fight fires, he has all these other jobs. And we see that A+ asks, what kinds of people make good firefighters?
OK， 那这边呢 A+ 的人又问到啦，怎么样的人适合当消防员？
Right, what kind of qualities should they have to have? If you want to be a firefighter, what do you need to be? Well, Champion says firefighters are patient, strong, and act quickly in emergencies. There's that word again.
那第一个他说出来的是个形容词 patient， 它是什么意思呢？ Let's take a look.Patient 这个形容词呢，代表有耐心的。那相反没有耐心的，我们可以用 impatient 来形容，也就是在字首加上 I am 就可以了。那再来呢 patient 也可以当作名词来使用哦，代表的是病人。那有耐心，我们除了用形容词来形容，我们还可以用名词来带。名词的耐心呢，我们说是 patience。Somebody has a lot of patience， 代表某个人非常有耐心。当然也可以说 somebody is very patient。So for example, Pat is a patient teacher. He's very patient with his students. 那 be patient with 代表的是对某人有耐心。所以我们说 Pat 老师对他的学生非常有耐心。那单字例句给的是呢 Please be patient. You can play this game in a few minutes. 请有点耐心，在几分钟你就可以玩这游戏了。
Clearly, you have never been my student.
Okay, so you mean you are impatient?
Well, let's just say teachers should be patient with their students.
True.
And it's maybe something I can do better.
Okay, then back to the article. 课文说到呢，消防员需要是有耐心的，还有 strong 强壮的，也要在紧急事件当中呢有敏捷的反应。
Okay, and this is all because, as Champion says, they try their best to save people's lives.
Try somebody's best to do something， 那就是某人竭尽全力去做某事，他们还需要尽全力去拯救人们的性命。
Yep, and we tried our best to explain all the English in this article. We're not finished. We're going to talk to Champion again in part 2 tomorrow. But right now, let's go to our review time activity.
Review time.
So when you need to call for help like this, you need to dial a special number on your phone, right?
对，如果你要打电话的话，打紧急电话，你必须要打某个特殊的号码。
Okay, do you know many of these special numbers, Elsie?
Come on, 119 119嘛。
Right, well, let's
110 110嘛。
Let's see how many you do know. Okay, we've got a
差不多就
few.
这两个啦。
There's more. Let's see if you know some numbers. So I'll reveal them if you get them right. What is the number for the police?
打电话叫警察110，这还要问吗？ So easy.
What's that one then?
110.
110 it is. Okay, and do you know it in the UK?
911.
That's the US.
Sorry, UK, I didn't know.
999.
999.
Yep, that's the emergency number. Okay, what about the fire department?
Fire department, here 1192.
Correct, it is 119.
也是
Some of that.
119.
Okay, what about if you get one of those like cheating, lying phone calls that tries to trick you out of money? You want to report them. Do you know the
诈骗嘛，
number?
对不对？
Yes.
我刚刚有偷看到165
It is indeed. This last one's not really an emergency number. This is just a hard one to see if Elsie knows it. You want to phone up and find about the weather, but in Taiyu, not Chinese.
哦，in 台语要用
Yes.
台语知道天气状况。I didn't know about this one.
Okay, 167.
167
Yeah, 166 is Chinese, 167 is Taiwanese, apparently.
166有国语，167有台语。
Right.
哇，好专业哦。
Okay, there we go. Elsie is pretty good at her emergency numbers. Okay, join us again tomorrow for part 2 of our article about 119 and the fire department. We'll see you then. Bye for now.
Bye for now.
Fighting fires and saving lives. Warm-up question. What dangerous jobs do people do? Why do they do them?
What do you do at work?
We teach people to prevent fires. We save others from fires, disasters, and accidents or emergencies. We also take hurt people to the hospital.
Talk about one special time in your job.
A young woman was having a baby. She called us, but the baby was coming too fast. We delivered the baby in the ambulance. The baby was healthy. The family came by later to thank us. This was special to me.
What kinds of people make good firefighters?
Firefighters are patient, strong, and act quickly in emergencies. They try their best to save people's lives.
Word power.
Accident. Accident. George is in the hospital because he broke his leg in a motorcycle accident. George is in the hospital because he broke his leg in a motorcycle accident. Ambulance. Ambulance. Jenny heard an ambulance behind her, so she let it pass first. Jenny heard an ambulance behind her, so she let it pass first. Thank. Thank. Rose wrote her teacher a card to thank him for helping her learn math. Rose wrote her teacher a card to thank him for helping her learn math. Patient. Patient. Please be patient. You can play this game in a few minutes. Please be patient. You can play this game in a few minutes.
认识字汇
Prevent. Prevent. Disaster. Disaster. Emergency. Emergency.